Hey guys, latest transfer updates of Alexander Isak with Newcastle, Gyokeres with Arsenal, Xavi Simons, Benjamin Sesko. Get all of this in this video detailedly, and if this is the first time you are coming across my YouTube channel, may you watch the video carefully to the end and tell me what you think about all these latest transfer updates. Let's jump into it. Victor Gyokeres. Let me start with Victor Gyokeres. Victor Gyokeres joining Arsenal is a done and completed deal. So Victor Gyokeres at this point in time is an Arsenal player. I still remember this case actually took Arsenal more than a month to confirm the arrival of Victor Gyokeres. And today all documents were signed and sealed. Victor Gyokeres is now an Arsenal player. And this is actually what all Arsenal fans actually wanted. And the deal have finally come through. And we all are just waiting for the season to start. So we can start enjoying Victor Gyokeres with Arsenal, right? I think yesterday, was day before yesterday, Victor Gyokeres was announced as a done deal, right? And only the documents were left to be processed. And those documents were actually processed today. Everything completed, everything okay. So Victor Gyokeres to Arsenal is a done deal. Let's get ready. Why we keep Arsenal aside? Because Arsenal have done a lot this summer. Despite many players that are still interested in signing, they have done a lot so far, right? Let's just keep Arsenal aside and take a look at Liverpool. Yes, Alexander Isak. The reason why I'm saying Liverpool is because that is where Alexander Isak might land next. Yes, Alexander Isak made it clear to Newcastle today that he wants to try a new chapter elsewhere. Many Newcastle fans are not happy with these updates. They are saying they are very, very disappointed with Alexander Isak. And I can tell you guys, as a Newcastle fan, I am not a Newcastle fan. But if you find a Newcastle fan saying that he or she is disappointed because of Alexander Isak, you have to accept with that person, because it is actually because of Newcastle that many of us today know who Alexander Isak is capable, and who many of us know who Alexander Isak is and what Alexander Isak is capable of doing. I can still remember his days with Real Sociedad. Alexander Isak was a top striker back then in La Liga, and I still remember at some point in time Barcelona tried to sign him. I don't know what happened, but the deal did not actually go through. But Alexander Isak have made it clear to Newcastle, I want to try a new chapter. And the first step that the guy have taken so far is that he did not join Newcastle for their preseason tour in Asia. Remember, Newcastle is actually in Asia for their preseason, and Alexander Isak is not with it. The updates that were sent to many of us was that Alexander Isak had a minor injury, which is not actually the case. It is actually because he wants to leave the club. That's the main reason why he did not travel the club for the preseason, right? Many Newcastle fans want the guy to stay. Newcastle wanted to sign Hugo Ekitike, and many of us were asking questions. Is Hugo Ekitike going to play alongside Alexander Isak? Not knowing that at the end of the day, these two guys can easily play alongside themselves instead with Liverpool, not with Newcastle. Remember, Alexander Isak informed, let me not say informed, everyone knew that Alexander Isak was going to stay with Newcastle, right? Because Newcastle wanted to sign Hugo Ekitike. At some point in time, they felt weak, they gave up. And many of us understood that it is because Alexander Isak have made them know his desire to stay with the club. And as I speak to you now, Alexander Isak's chances of playing with Newcastle is actually 1%. And the chances of him leaving is 99%. Let's just stay with our eyes open, right? Because when you see many Newcastle fans sad, it is because they did not sign a striker. And Alexander Isak leaving now is going to make things more difficult for them. And there is only one target left in the transfer market that can replace Alexander Isak with Newcastle, which is Benjamin Sesko. Remember, Benjamin Sesko release clause is something else. It is between 90 to 100 million euros, which is something that many clubs cannot pay. But from what Fabrizio Romano said this afternoon in his YouTube channel, it shows that his release clause can be negotiated a bit. So let's just wait and see what happens in the next days ahead. But Alexander Isak's stay in Newcastle is not actually going to be possible this summer, right? Let's just wait and see, because if Newcastle needs to do something, they can only start by pushing to see if the player can stay with them for one more season until when they find a proper replacement for him. Remember, rumors are also circulating that Al Hilal is in the race to sign Alexander Isak, but I can confirm from you, as per Fabrizio Romano, that Al Hilal is not in discussion with any player again for now. Al Hilal is not in discussion to sign Alexander Isak, but let's just wait and see what happens in the next day ahead, because there is a possibility that Liverpool will trigger the release clause, £120 million, to get Alexander Isak. Just imagine Liverpool having Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak signed only one summer within 2 weeks. And from what I am also seeing, as per many medias, Newcastle will only let Alexander Isak go if they release a sum of 100, if they receive a sum of £150 million. But Liverpool, from what I am seeing, are about to trigger the release clause. Yes, they can trigger £120 million, but Newcastle wants something around 150. At the same time, Newcastle said their player is not for sale, so it is somehow confusing. Let's just wait and see what happens in the next day, because Benjamin Sesko is actually there. He is set to leave Leipzig. I've been telling you guys since day one, since the transfer window was open. I've been telling you guys, and at some point in time, everyone knew Benjamin Sesko was going to join Arsenal. It did not happen, right? And rumors are also circulating. Manchester United are also in the race to sign Benjamin Sesko. And if Alexander Isak is leaving Newcastle, then Benjamin Sesko is likely going to be the replacement for Alexander Isak. Let's just keep these guys aside, because for now, it is actually difficult to predict what happens in the next days ahead. And one top player also this transfer window is Xavi Simons. Yes, Xavi Simons is the one to watch also this summer. I think few weeks ago, I came out here on my YouTube channel. I made a video and I told you guys, Xavi Simons is going to join the Premier League club. Yes, for now, I did not confirm if it was actually going to be Chelsea or Arsenal because of the interest that the guy was showing Premier League clubs. Bayern Munich is also in the race of those clubs to sign Xavi Simons. So we have Arsenal, Chelsea, and Bayern Munich. And for now, I can confirm to you guys that Chelsea is ahead of every other club that I've just mentioned. Chelsea is trying to come in personal terms with the player. You know, when you are trying to get a player, the most important thing is to have a personal agreement with the player before going club to club. So Chelsea is currently in discussion with Xavi Simons to see if the guy is going to join the club. But for now, let's just wait and see what happens in the next exercise. And the latest updates coming from Barcelona is that of Andre ter Stegen. You know, many Barcelona fans have wanted the guy to leave the club ever since. Even Barcelona sporting director, the Barcelona president, even the Barcelona coach Hansi Flick wanted ter Stegen to leave the club so he can free up space for many players. And the guy said no, he was not going to leave the club. And today he released something on his Instagram page, and in that message the guy said he is set to undergo another back surgery. And in that same message the guy reminded the public that when he had his last surgery, he went for 66 days before he completely recovered, which was 2 months 2 days. And this one now, the guy is saying that the doctor, that is his medicals, have made it clear to him if he wants the surgery to be okay, then you have to rest for at least 3 months. Sorry. So Marc-Andre ter Stegen is going to be out for 3 months. And after the 3 months, he is going to return with Barcelona. We don't know if he will return as the number 1 goalkeeper, number 2 goalkeeper, or the number 3 goalkeeper. But what we know for now is that Joan Garcia is going to be the first choice for Barcelona this season, followed by Chesney, and maybe ter Stegen is going to be the third choice goalkeeper this summer. And what many players in Barcelona at this point in time are in my eyes also. I'm still waiting to see what will happen in the next year, because Gerard Martins is said to join Braga, a Portuguese club, and that Portuguese club is said to pay 12 million euros. I think this is the biggest sale that I've seen in Barcelona so far in recent seasons, and Barcelona still owns part of future sales. Barcelona also have a buyback clause for him. So let's just wait and see what happens in the next year. Guys, I have come to the end of this video. But before I end the video, if this is the first time you are coming across my YouTube channel, maybe hit the thumb up to this video, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and tell me what you think about the latest transfer of Victor Gyokeres to Arsenal, the latest transfer updates of Alexander Isak wanting to leave Newcastle. What do you think about Xavi Simons? Tell me all of this down in the comment section, and make sure you like, you subscribe, and you tell me what you think about all this transfer updates down in the comment section. See you guys until next video.